tendency to, we think we're doing well, but we're pulling on the horse's head, but we're not using their feet and they're slowing down. That's not collection. That's just slowing the horse down with a hollow back. That's not driving the rear end up any further. That's just pulling the front end to the back, where the back is already scattered out. You're just pulling the front end back till they slow down. Lots of difference. So when we say, okay, he's getting the bend around the inside leg, pretty nice. I like what he does here. So then I have to start saying, you know, I need a little more energy when I ask for it. I need you to, when I ask, you need to do it right now. So I'm going to take the left leg off, and he needs to step across right there. When I put the right leg on, he asked me to kick him. I had to kick him 4 times with a spur to get him to step across, and he should have stepped across because I took the inside leg off of him. He's just numb. So, right leg, take the inside leg off, the left leg, get off of that leg. There you go. When the inside leg comes off and the outside leg comes quietly on, I don't have to spur a horse that hard. But he needs to say, wait a minute, that leg's out of the way, here comes the other one. Riding horses to me is all about when I start to threaten them with something, they need to do it. Not when shouldn't have to ask. If I softly touch his face, he should give me his nose. If he doesn't, there's going to be a reprimand. Eventually, when I start to just touch his face, they go right to where you want to go. Eventually, when I take the leg off, and I put that leg on, he should have been already stepping across. It's not about slow anymore. Slow you do when you do that 2 times slow in their life, and then they say, now you need to speed it up. There's too much patience patience is great to a certain extent. But then you have to say, no, I need a little quicker reaction time. If you push on his shoulders on the ground, if you're on the ground and you push on his shoulders, he should immediately step away from you. The same thing. I take my right leg off, I put the left leg on, he should immediately step away. I took the right leg off. I started bringing the outside leg on. He should have been stepping across. He did. Just turn your toe out and kick him a little bit. Say, hey, what are you doing? When he goes, then the horse is going to la-la land. He says, well, if he's not paying attention to me, and he's just in la-la land, that's what they do. They go in la-la land and say, oh, I'm just cruising. He's just out for a little joyride today. He doesn't really care, but you have to say, yes, I do. Even if I'm on a trail ride, if I ask my horse to do this, if I take a leg off and I put that on, he needs to get off of that leg. Even on a trail ride. Because that just means they're found asleep. The trail ride shouldn't put a horse to sleep. They should still be focusing on us. That's when the outside leg does come. We've been told from a kid, always use your outside leg to turn. Well, that's true when you're trying to get into faster turns. But first you have to create the bend. You have to be looking in the direction he's going. But we talked about that the circle, when I'm circling the horse like this, if you could slow the film down, you see his outside front foot, which is his right front, stepping forward and across softly to the left foot, stepping towards that track as the left foot steps towards the center of the circle just a little bit. That's the beginning of a spin, because that's what a horse has to do. They have to cross their outside front foot over their inside foot, not step behind. So this is introducing them to that. That's why I keep them circling. Always keep your foot going forward. Always keep your foot going forward. Always keep your outside foot going forward and stepping towards your inside foot, in front of it, not behind it. Step in front of it, not behind it. Not much, because on the circle he doesn't have to move it much. But when I halt him and I press, he's going to step him outside. See that outside foot come across towards his inside foot? That's what, because of the circle, he was continuing that on. We stopped the back end, so he just continued. He did more reach with his outside foot. So that's how you start horses. Instead of stabbing with the outside leg, when I first get on to turn him, I have to teach him the correct position to turn. And that's through the inside leg. Teach the correct position. So we've done this, we've done this, we've done this. I want you outside left foot to be stepping towards your right foot, outside foot stepping towards your right foot. When I slow you down and press to the left leg, there's the step over, very good, and step him out of there. Head doesn't need to come up, they don't need to sit back, they just need to step across and continue on. We don't ask for 300. He's not anywhere close to doing a 360 turn, and I am going to fly to the moon tomorrow. I'm lucky if I get him to step across the center of the circle. Until he gets to do it that evenly and be thinking about going forward, I would never ask him for a full turn or even a half turn. It's just one step, or maybe I guess that would be a half turn, right across the center and get out of there. Because we trap him. And I was guilty as any when I was a kid. Actually, that's what we were taught when we were kids. You rear a horse back on his haunches and you rear him up a little bit. Both feet would come off the front end and they'd rear up and move over there. And then they'd rear up and move over there. And then they'd rear up and move over there. Then some guy came up with a horse that actually did it naturally stay flat. It's called a flat spin. And people say, oh my gosh, I want my horse to do that. So people started doing it that way. Instead of pulling them back on their haunches, you notice I don't pull him on his haunch. I don't pull back on the rein to step him across. I don't do any more with my hand. I don't pull back. I just take the leg off and move my hands in the direction I want him to go. If you pull back, he's going to get on his weight, too much weight on his rear end. And he'll step behind his front foot. My mare's famous for that. She wants to not step because she's a little short-strided, especially on the right side. She doesn't like to cross over in front, and she'll hit herself on her inside leg because she sits down too hard and she hits herself on her inside leg instead of stepping in front of her. This leg, if I spin to the left, his left foot has to move over there so his right foot can come. She leaves her foot there and hits it before she moves it. So I have to work on her all the time in these little circles. So that's kind of what we've done with him, and that's what you have to continue. And if you continue walking and trotting and staying after him and getting all the aids in order, then you'll make a nice little horse. Like I said, I'd love to have him have more energy because he just runs out of gas. It's not that he doesn't want to try because he's got a great mind, but I think he just gets tired. And I ride a horse pretty hard when I ride him, so they need to, like right now I'm letting him lollygag while I'm chatting, but most of the time, even in the walk, when I get him walking, this takes more energy for him to do this than the other stuff. Even if doing this, he needs the energy to do this. So I'm wanting the horse to give me as much as they can give me, so I need to figure out, are you lacking in energy? Well, I've even taken blood on horses. I've had horses I've taken blood on because I think I'm not feeding them enough or something, the blood counts are down, just to make sure, but even if the blood count's good, I'll feed them anyway. I want them to get them a little soupy. Meaning, I'll get them a little hot, and then I'll start adjusting my feed a little bit, and if I have to cut it back too much to get where I want, then I'll change the feeds. I'll ask the dealers, what can I do to keep the horse fed up, but he's got too much energy if I have to feed him the maximum. So you may have to cut protein, you may have to cut whatever, put more fat, less fat. There's lots of different goals. Okay, your turn. You want to put yours out on him?